This past weekend, at the time of this recording, I spoke at the ReAwaken conference in Selma, North Carolina, with Jack Posobiec. We talked about our new book out called Bulletproof: The Truth About the Assassination Attempts on Donald Trump, forward by Donald Trump Jr. So it has the legitimacy and credibility associated with the family, as opposed to a couple of journal bros trying to grift, like so many books that are covering current events are. We hired our own private investigative team, commissioned them on the ground, interviews, data seeking, and tracking that the Federal Bureau of Investigation and other federal institutions aren't doing. Why does it take a couple of guys who write books and post funny memes to do what the entire federal government with its multi-trillion-dollar budgets will not do? I think you already know the answer to that. Now, what I want to bring up was the experience that I had at the event and what I think it means for you and how you might adjust your behavior. When I spoke with Jack Posobiec. We were up there for just about 28 minutes. We were one of the last speakers of the night. We were between Roger Stone and General Michael Flynn. And towards the end, I shared what many would call a testimony, religious faith-based testimony. And there was a standing ovation for me. There was about 2,000 people there live with tens of thousands more listening. And a useful tip for public speaking is the usual frame that a lot of people have associated with public speaking, especially when you're mic'd up and people are watching and waiting, is all these people are watching me. The reframe is all these people are wanting for me to succeed. All these people are rooting for me. All these people want me to do well. Saying that to yourself makes it easy. Easy. Now, I haven't spoken in public to a crowd that size in more than 7 years, not since my TEDx talk that I gave on solopreneurship. It's still a good listen all these years later, so I recommend that you listen to it. At the end, I shared my faith-based testimony experience going from Christian to atheist, and then to not a return, but to a reawakening to the reality of the metaphysical existence of good versus evil in this world, and how I came to that conclusion. Observation that did not require belief, but rather, I see this. I see this with my own eyes. I don't need to have faith to believe in anything that I'm experiencing and I'm observing. Okay. So I shared that. And then I had to leave immediately afterwards. Someone from the event was so kind as to drive me to the airport afterwards. But on my walk out, where I'm trying to gotta catch my flight, I am one after the next, stopped by roughly 30 people. So I got to the gate at the airport with 3 minutes to spare, 3 minutes before that. And I was hauling. They probably thought there was a security incident there because I was running so fast, right? This guy in a navy blue suit and a Irish red tie sprinting with 2 giant bags. Yeah, probably looked suspicious. And anyway, having shared my testimony there, 30 people individually came up to me to talk about the emotional impact of that. My remarks were completely unprepared. Jack and I hadn't even discussed what we were going to talk about for 28 minutes there. This is what I find so fun about it, is we spoke for almost half an hour with zero preparation. And I'd asked him, so what do you want to say? He's like, man, we'll just figure it out. I had the best speeches. And you'll notice that I don't think we use the words or or any other false starts or pauses or breaks like that at once. I don't think we do say any of that once, because once you get in the moment, you know what to say. You just do. It's a vibe. That's the best thing I can give you about public speaking. Trying to remember what words you're supposed to say for many public speaking situations is not great. You just get up there and you talk and you don't stop. No uhs, no ums. What Donald Trump uses instead of uhs and ums when he's giving a speech is he gives sidebar commentary on what he just said instead of saying and. We're going to build a big, beautiful wall. It's going to be the biggest wall we've ever had. It's going to be the most beautiful. You'll think it's so beautiful. You won't be able to take your eyes off of it. And what else we're going to do is, so see there, that was two separate thoughts. We're going to build a big, beautiful wall. And the next thing we're going to do is, it's as if his memory needs to catch up to his mouth. But instead of saying, we're having an awkward pause, he just gives commentary about what he just said. So he's both the announcer and the commentator and the player on the field at the same time. It works. I did that as well, by the way, a couple of times during the speech there in Selma, North Carolina. Now, the advice that I have for you, now going back to what we talked about recently with the concept of going on an information diet and not taking in news that you don't need and information that is not going to affect your behavior in the future and change decisions that you're going to make anyway, and change them into a different decision. This one might actually change that. See, a lot of people say, don't talk about religion or politics. Well, I think that is cope and a cop-out. It is the courageless position. Why would you not want to talk about courage in politics? We're going to follow the 7 whys technique that's been popularized for the last 10 years. Watch this. Don't talk about religion and politics in polite company. And definitely not in business or in the public. Oh, no. Why? Because you might offend someone you might otherwise disagree with. Why would you offend someone you might otherwise disagree with? Why would that be offensive to them? Because I gotta think about this. 7 whys technique is great. Get to the truth of the matter. Because I don't want people to be mad at me or be offended by me. Why? Because if people are mad at me or get offended, then they might not buy from me. They might disassociate from me. Why do you want people who have beliefs that would, upon hearing your beliefs, make them want to disassociate with you and reject you? Why would you want that? Because I want everyone to like me. Why do you want everyone to like you? Because I want people to think that I'm a nice, tolerant, accepting guy. Why is it more important to you to be perceived as a nice and tolerant guy than to stand up for what you believe in? Because I am a coward. Cowards aren't persuasive. This is daily persuasion, not daily cowardice. Share your testimony. Share your experiences. Share your before and after transformation. I shared on that stage to 2,000 people live how I fell from faith into what I call my CIA phase, cringe internet atheist phase. I explained why, and I explained why I came out of it. What's your before, during, and after story? I explained how I ballooned up 65 pounds. And then I have the after. I have this on a different channel, my Joshua Lisec channel. And my before versus after. Of why that happened, how I changed it, and pictures before and after. It's incredible. That moves people. Talking about obesity and doing a little self-shaming of fatness is in the religion and politics category. But people say, as we just went through the 7 whys technique, people say that because they're cowards. Or they want you to be a coward. Or they want you to be a coward like them. Because if you show courage and you say, like Elon Musk, no, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to do what's right. What I believe is right. Then you can become a great man of history. And if you become a great man of history, even on the small stage, in your family, in your community, in your church, in your business, in your industry, in your neighborhood, if no one's watching but one person, if no one's watching, not even another human being, it's only you, but you know what we need are great men of history who are willing to reject cowardice and embrace confidence and tell the truth about their testimony. So, share yours. I give you permission. And when you do so in public, in your next podcast interview, or the next thread that you write, or the next live you do, or you do a Twitter space, X space, or you're on Clubhouse, or you're on Air Chat. Some people are still on Air Chat. Or you're at your church, or you're talking to a client, or you're just out meeting and greeting. You'll remember that people are not looking at you, worrying about you failing. People are watching you. They're rooting for you. They want you to succeed, and they can't wait to hear what you have to say. So say it. Remember, daily persuasion, not daily cowardice.